Hi, I'm Mr. Potato Head. Let's play What's Missing? Pick the part that's missing. The more parts you find, the more stars I'll give you. To see me with all my parts.
SpongeBob, Johnny Bravo kicking by the beach bar. DJ making.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bikini by Inquirer. We're back. We out here with Mr. Potato Head as a guest. Switching off my heater. I suffer from my aunt, unlike Who Needs Normal, who has his... Oh, it's still going in the background.
I often suffer from my art, but we are experiencing a odd heat wave out here right now, so I'm not... I can't do it. I'm sorry.
It's still talking in the background.
Just give it a minute. Hold on. He'll show up. Hold on.
Welcome everyone back to Bikini Bomb Inquirer. My name is Chester Liddon. I'm one of the hosts here.
And I'm Who
weekly
Needs...
SpongeBob show. That sums up our relationship. Do you have YouTube, like, is there like a phase on YouTube or something that you enter into and you can always tell that that's like a low point for your life?
What, like watching or?
Yeah, whenever I get into YouTube drama again, like the Philip DeFranco's, all those types of guys, there's a moment like about a month in where I'm like, this is another low point of my life, isn't it? I need to stop doing this.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I'm like watching a lot of Philip DeFranco, sure, that feels like there's been times where I'm like actively watching the news and I'm like, fuck this shit, and I'm like, no. But there's one time that I can vividly remember right around when I first bought my PS4, which would have been 2019. I went down a rabbit hole of just watching people play crane machines just for hours and hours and hours. I don't know, I became addicted to watching arcade videos, specifically the Japanese UFO captures.
Oh, those are fun. Those
like
are
that.
great. I watch Sea Dog do that
machine.
all the time.
But like that was all I was watching, and I was like laying in bed late at night watching the video.
I can say though, our worst moments of your crane and my watching probably what's his name, Turkey Tom, do live stream YouTube slop.
Bro, that was not a low point. No, I'm kidding. I've noticed he's because he was doing lots of live streams and stuff for a while, like on the drama grind, and then he just dropped.
He stopped.
Dropped off.
I was so upset. I was like this. I was moving my business, and I was literally sitting on the floor scraping paint off tiles for like 5 days in a row, and the only thing that kept me sane was Turkey Tom talking about random drama I did not care about, and then he stopped halfway through, and I'm like, what the hell do I do?
Yeah,
now?
I don't know if he decided putting his focus on his main channel was better or what.
He said in a podcast that live streaming YouTube drama is just pure cancer, and that he hates live streaming culture and never wants to do it again. But anyway, our lowest points are nothing compared to people watching XQC gamble for just hours at a time for entertainment. You can take some confidence in the fact that our lowest lows are a lot of people's highest highs if they watch anything on Twitch. For the average Twitch streamer, we are the goal. We are the unattainable heights. Anyway, how are you, Mr. Who Needs Normal?
I'm alive. I missed almost an entire week of work because I wasn't feeling great, but I'm here. It's time to party. It's time to make content.
That's all we are.
I just downed a Red Bull. You're in for it, buddy.
Why have you swapped to Red Bull all of a sudden? What's going on?
I don't know. I tried a Red Bull. I remember I hated Red Bull the first time I tried it, and then I was like, the vending machine at my work was out of the drink that I liked, the White Monster, and so I was like, fine, I'll try a freaking Red Bull again. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, something switched and I liked it, and now I can't stop drinking it.
I think that's another indicator of low moments in my life. when Danae once a month or something will get a Monster because she really likes them, and there was just one stage where I was like, it was like 2 for like the price of 1, and she was like, do you want one? And I was like, No, but sure. I like anything that's flavored grape, so get me one of the grape ones. And I really liked it. And there's just these moments where, like, I've got a heap of work. I'm like, am I going to stoop to that? No, I'll just drink 2 pots of coffee. That's better for me. That's healthier.
Can't stand the taste of coffee, personally.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I've been doing
this
pour
week,
over coffee.
This
Yes,
week, I did this. And so we're
Well, I was
not
thinking
using
we should do stories from the week. Do we want to cover some stuff
Sure.
from the week? Yeah.
My story for the week is I decided that the paper backdrop it wasn't doing the job for me, and I kind of wanted to rearrange my room in general. So I was like, I'm gonna take the paper, stick it on an actual wall, and then I was like, and then what if I like mounted shelves and like gave it character, and then you mentioned that you thought the natural light looked better. I wasn't sure. I asked a couple other people, and they said, yeah, it looks better. So we're no more color. End of an era. End of a 2-month era. But I decided I carefully chose different elements of my life or my nerd culture, and worked it in the background here. So.
Here's a fun thing. How about for stories for the week? How about we go through a few things from our
we're doing show and tell. We're bringing back show and tell.
Show the fan favorite segment. Everyone tunes in to hope that we might do show and tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's choose like a couple things here.
You go first. We'll do one to one.
All right. I'm gonna start with my sealed copy of Lego Universe, which I don't know if you remember what Lego Universe is, but
I was expecting you to pull out like, here is my sealed copy of the second Bionicles movie, the superior one.
Well, see, this is a paperweight. This was an MMO, so this is completely useless. This game does not exist. But my cousin Pladley found it at a Goodwill once, and he had it on his shelf, and I kept making jokes about how I was going to steal it. And I've planned on making a video about like dead MMOs, like licensed MMOs.
Thanks, Pirate Software.
I've been watching so many videos about that shit. But one Christmas, he relented, and I think it was... I'd probably gifted him something, and he felt bad, even though he doesn't... I tell them every year, you don't have to give me anything. And I think he was like, oh, I don't have any money. I'm just going to give him this totally useless copy of Lego Universe he's always talking about stealing, and I was thrilled. You
give him this hand-wrapped present, and he's like, wait. And he runs upstairs, comes running back, and you're like, wait, you don't need to... And he's like, shh. He like puts his finger to your lips. Shh. He hands you the Lego Universe box.
No!
For you. Did something break? Oh, no. Guys, if this is included in the episode release, this is another indicator that Chester hasn't done his job of editing and has forgotten to cut out segments where things break or my headphones die or there are connection issues. Or, other option, this is another one of Who Needs Normal's funny bits. It's hard to tell this guy. I don't know if I'm being gaslit right now. I don't think I'm being gaslit. I think something might have broken. Reptar socks.
Anyways, so that was fun.
That's fun. 20 minutes later.
Anyways, we were talking about we were sharing things from the shelf. So what do you want to share from your shelf?
I've got something. Just because you pulled up a DVD before, I have a in plastic copy of Persona 4 for PS2.
Still copy of Persona 4.
Yeah, it's now covered in dust because I don't touch it. The only issue is it's not PAL. So even if I wanted to, I could never play it.
What is it? Is it American?
I think it's NTSC.
Let me see the cover. What is it? What kind of what kind? Yeah, American. That's American.
Yeah. So American,
or, Canadian, or North American.
It's North America, yeah.
So U.S., Canada.
I doubt
maybe
it's.
Mexico.
I'm sure it's probably like a fake plastic seal that someone's put on it, but like it looks perfect condition underneath.
Oh,
So I know it cost me like $50, which is why I'm dubious because like it
Right.
costs $50
You
to
would think
get
it
a
would be
normal
more.
copy anyway, or around there,
But who
bit
needs normal?
less. Who needs normal?
Cool. That's pretty cool. I almost I thought about because like a bundle on Switch of like a bunch of different Persona games is like on sale right now for like dirt cheap, and I thought about picking it up, but I just don't have the time to commit to that many.
The Persona 3 version is really
show
bad.
me your feet.
It's a Reptar sucks.
I don't want to see your Reptar feet, Chester.
Reptar sucks.
This episode is unhinged.
All right, next thing.
I have my childhood copy of Super Mario 64,
Wahoo!
signed by Mario himself,
Signed by my mom.
Charles Martinet. It's signed by Mario himself, Charles Martinet. He drew a little Mario down here in the corner, and I think he signs everything Mario, but he also wrote Woohoo here on the side. So, I met the man, the myth, the legend, and he signed my childhood copy. And I remember I posted a picture of it in like a Facebook group that I was a part of at the time, like a Nintendo Facebook group, and I was like, "Look at what I got!" And the people were like, I would never let any toddler scribble all over my shit or whatever. And I was like,
Deface my valued collection.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just put on my glasses. Well, actually, that can't be Charles Martinet's signature. You see, when he writes it, he writes Wahoo, not Woohoo.
And even when I was standing in line, there was this kid talking to me and my cousin, and he was like, yeah, I would never let anyone write all over my stuff. Like, I would never let anyone sign my stuff. Like, my Wii, I would never let anyone sign my Wii, is what he said. I was like, okay, bro, whatever.
As you're waiting in line as well with him.
Yeah, it was,
I just want to shake his hand. I just want to meet him.
There was one guy who just wanted to get a voicemail message.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could go on and on, but I'll let the Easter eggs, like people will figure it out.
Yeah.
I got the gaming historian signature framed right there. That's pretty cool.
Wow, the gaming story. If we're still on video
The
games,
gaming story.
I've got a Japanese release version of Catherine, which is really cool.
That's just more Persona shit. What do you? No.
Yes, it is. Same model and everything, but it's the original Japanese version, which is really cool. So I'm glad to have it. I have a lot of things on my shelves. So I have clients in here that record stuff. I have a lot of things on my shelves that I just have to take down when clients are here, because like, I don't want to have a conversation with them about what this is.
They actually just record back there. Okay, that explains.
If we're doing voice acting stuff, audio books, or if I'm helping them with some editing things, they sit in here with me. So I have some like rap artists that come in and they sing here as well. So it's like...
And they say, "Hey, yo, I'm sitting in Chester's room. Yeah. PSP.
Vita.
Pretty small PlayStation. I bought a lava lamp.
We can't see that. Sorry,
aesthetic.
we can't see that. It gets cut out. We can't talk about the lava lamp. Have you got something else?
I mean, I got plenty, but I guess
We'll do one thing each. One more thing each. Oh, don't do that. Put that back. No one wants
who
that.
do you think this is?
We can't see. It's getting cut out. Oh, is that Chadtronic?
Thank you. Every time someone who doesn't know who this is sees this, they think it's me. They're like, "Is that you? Where'd you get that? How'd you get that?"
You have the same hair swoop and everything going on right now.
It's them swoop, kind of a similar color, the glasses, but yeah, it's Chadtronic. He's got the NES.
I think I remember you just like almost frothing at the mouth when it was announced that he was having like a figure. And I was like, wow, I didn't know anyone liked Chadtronic.
Well, I don't remember frothing at the mouth, but I was excited. Well, just because I almost every time he's dropped merch, like a figure or a plush, I've picked it up.
You got some books up there? Let's have a little.
Yeah. This is a more interesting book. This is Limited Run Games book. It was written by Mark Flitman. It's basically his career making licensed games.
Oh,
so it kind of pertains to
it's your career.
My niche, yeah. And I haven't actually read it yet. I need to sit down and read it. Oh, LJN. He worked for LJN.
You open up AWE Games. Missing piece. Finally.
It's actually interesting because I was hoping maybe he was involved in SpongeBob at some point, because if you look at the cover, there's a My Little Pony that is painted to be SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But I guess that was just a little funny thing someone gave him. I don't know.
I've got over here,
Anyways.
but I've got the first 3 Harry Potter books as hardcover fabrics with J.K. Rowling's signature on the front of them, which is really cool.
Oh, so you're going to be burned at the stake, is what you're telling me.
Look how cool that is.
That actually is cool. I kind of want that, even though I've never read them.
They're great.
Want that.
Yeah, I haven't read these versions either, but like they're also like really big print, so they're fun. Like these are the versions that you'd like read to your child or something. You'd like this is the bedtime book like stuff thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, I want that. Give me that. Send that to me.
First I have the Iliad and Odyssey. Oh, there we go. I'll do this one as my last one. I won't, because it's another weeb thing, but I have the Cowboy Bebop vinyl.
You freaking weeb!
What's up?
You otaku!
You fucking loser. Listen, I get it.
You loser! Loser, you're a loser.
I don't have that much else. It's not weeb shit.
Well, you also showed us your feet, so. Can I edit this episode? I want to edit. Let me edit this episode.
Oh, absolutely. This episode, it'll be hellish to edit. It's all yours. I also have a copy of Who Goes There, which became The Thing from Another World, or The Thing, by John W. Campbell. Most people would know as The Thing.
Clobbering time!
Thank you. Most people would know it as 1980s The Thing horror movie by someone important. He did things good. I haven't seen it. I've seen the black and white one. This book is fantastic. Very little. You know why it's another extra bonus of it? About this much of it is the actual book. The rest is people talking about the book and how influential and important it is.
I have a copy of Frankenstein that's like that somewhere.
It's fairly big even on its own. But who needs novel? There's a few other things on the shelf there that pertain to the topic of this episode. Wow.
There is. What do you know? It's almost like I thought ahead of time about what I was going to put on the shelf. Via Nickelodeon. Okay, here's the thing, children.
Losers.
Here's the thing. I genuinely wonder, like, I mean, our fan base, they're I'm sure they're old enough to know, but what is this, kids? Do you know what this is? How this works?
We're waiting for an answer. Hurry up, come on.
Yeah. Like
leave a comment down below. Oh. Oh dear.
Sorry.
You actually have a lot more than I thought you did. Is that Goosebumps? Cringe.
So it's funny, we were talking about Goosebumps games with what are their names? What's the company making the Game Mill? They made the Goosebumps games, and then right after they announced that new Nicktoons game, they also announced a new Goosebumps game. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one as well. But yeah, I have, as far as Nickelodeon VHS tapes, this is technically Nickelodeon. It's Nick Jr. I have Blue's Big Musical, which is obviously the best of the bunch here.
Yeah.
I've got Jimmy Neutron, which we saw on the last episode of Show. And then I've got all 3 Rugrats movies.
That's very cool. Yeah.
So you were talking to me because we were doing some research about Nickelodeon VHS tapes, or at least you were.
Yep.
And you were saying that you had a VHS tape that you really wanted to buy, but it was American and would have cost an arm and a leg to get shipped out there or whatever.
It was $5 American, and I was like, at first I thought it was $5, and I was like, I'll buy that right now. And I saw it was $5 American, so it's about $10 Australian. And then the shipment cost was $10 or something like that American. Oh, no, I think it was $5 American as well. So I'm like, that's like $20 for a VHS tape. It's going to take like a month to get here.
Yeah. And so I asked you, I was like, oh, what tape was it?
And lo and behold,
what tape was it, Chester?
It was,
what tape was it,
the Rugrats Vacation, which is one of my favorite episodes.
And it was literally on my shelf when he said that, but he didn't even fully realize it. It's the only tape that's not a movie that I own, as far as Nickelodeon goes.
Have you seen the episode?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen every Rugrats episode, but I did watch this one when I
featuring hit song by the Go-Go's, Vacation. What an intro segment! I still think about it sometimes. Literally, I was like, that's such a cool segment, like at the start.
This also has the Ice Cream Mountain episode that I really liked.
Yep.
Good episode. I feel like, so clearly, like, my experience, I grew up with VHS tapes, but I didn't have a lot of Nickelodeon VHS tapes specifically.
Yep.
And I still don't to this day. You and I kind of had a conversation the other night about how it seems like, though, like, even though there's kind of like this, there are people who think that VHS tapes are worth much more than they are.
Yeah.
People think that the Black Diamonds are going to pay for their kids' college tuition. The Disney Black Diamonds, I mean.
Yeah.
They are not. But Nickelodeon tapes seem to be more sought after and actually retain a bit of their value. So I've had trouble even just finding them.
I think there's a whole thing.
You and
Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
So in Australia, like, all our Nickelodeon stuff is completely different. I think just on the collecting thing as well, like the whole idea of like these things having value, I think a lot of it is because we're now dealing with Nickelodeon fans as adults. Like the majority, like the only people who are buying these VHS tapes are adults.
Now people have money.
And there is this idea as an adult that if you're going to engage in a hobby, it also needs to have a value to it. So there's I think there's a justification thing of like, oh, these there's Disney ones that are worth stuff, and look, this SpongeBob one's worth $20, which means in time they could be worth even more. I think just shut the fuck up and enjoy having a hobby and collect stuff. There is the occasional one, and I've found a bunch of stuff on eBay, and we'll go into stuff. There are some that are valuable. There are specifically some Hey Arnold ones that are valuable. But I've had this open for a few days, and none of these have sold. So that dictates I'm the
sure they've been
value
sitting there for months, if not longer.
If you think it's worth $70, but no one's buying it, it's not worth $70.
You and I also kind of talked about that with like the Buzz Lightyear behind me. I don't know if that appears on camera. But also, like, I kind of was having the thought earlier when I turned on Mr. Potato Head over here and made you want to. I thought about slamming it. I thought about slamming it into the desk as a joke, and I was like, I don't want to damage it. And I was thinking, it's not worth anything. It's an old Fisher-Price toy.
Yeah.
Like handheld toy that I had when I was a kid, and that's why I have it, and that's why it's on my shelf. It was a part of my childhood. But I didn't collect it because I thought, oh, the value's there. I collected it. I collect some of my old childhood toys because they're worth collecting to me, not necessarily to resell. And that's kind of always how I've approached collecting in general, was getting things that I actually wanted, not things that I wanted to resell, which is why Funko Pops are a cancer on the world.
Yes. This is also I own probably about 90%, maybe 95% of Nickelodeon video games, just in general. At least from that era, my era, from probably the stages of 2000 to probably 2015. I own about 90% of them. It's not out of a desire to own them. It was because I wanted to play them. It wasn't like, oh, these are going to be valuable at some stage. It was, I really want these. And what's happened is a lot of them are valuable now and are they're not valuable. They're just hard to get the originals. That's all there is. There's no value to them.
They've kind of fluctuated as far as the games go, because like there have been times where I look to get a copy of where I've looked at like Battle for Bikini Bottom and it's like shot up to like $50-$60 just to get that game because people want to play it. Whereas a lot of times you walk into a used game store and the used games are usually, I mean, the licensed games specifically are usually like dirt cheap.
Well,
example.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh no.
This game was worth absolutely nothing. Like I probably got this for like $5 at a random shop. I'm pulling a Chester, hitting my microphone. But then the game got like we've talked about it before. Something weird happened where everyone was like, "Oh, Piglet's big game. That game's weird." And then suddenly people were selling and people were buying this game for like $300-$500 on eBay. All the copies of it on eBay sold out. And I told people, I was like, "Look, just walk into your local used game store. You'll find it for like a few bucks."
Yeah.
The people trying to sell this on eBay are insane.
Yeah.
But
well, even on just that. So when the reason why I've talked about this a few times, the reason why I covered SpongeBob games and made videos on it is because I was 15, 16. I had no money, and I could go onto eBay and I could buy in Australia a SpongeBob game for $2. I could buy Lights, Camera, Pants. I could buy the movie game. I could buy some of that for just like whatever change I had on me. I could buy it, and it was free shipping and all that. So that was the reason why I did it. Now, if you want to buy the movie game, there are some people who have it listed here for $20, $25. Nicktoons Globs of Doom, $14. Moving with Friends, $3. Battle for Bikini Bottom, PS2, $9.50. Like, they're not what they were, but they're also like, here, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, PS2, $7.83. Very specific.
I remember that one was like $2 on eBay for a while.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid.
So like by value, it's like it's doubled type of thing. But when you're dealing with very small amounts of money, it's not that. Man, everyone's trying to get rid of their copies of SpongeBob SquarePants and Moving with Friends. God damn.
I don't think I even know exactly. Is that like a iToy game or something?
Yeah, it was. So no one can play it.
Okay.
Unless you buy an iToy.
I'll have to get an iToy. We'll have to make a video on that one.
Do you reckon you could just plug in a normal webcam? Because it's just a USB camera.
For a PS2, I doubt it. But, I mean, Nintendo just released their own version of the iToy, and I know you can just plug in a USB camera, so...
I wonder if you could just, if you emulated it, whether you could use a normal webcam.
Probably.
Interesting.
But I would have that would require a lot of research to actually figure out how that would work. But
yeah. So I thought we could go through some of these listings of VHS tapes and chat a little about them. And I've also found some people on Reddit who have collections. And I thought we could go through some of their collections as well.
Sounds good to me. We never talk about this. I feel like of all the things, no one ever talks about Rugrats Go Wild.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, I think it's probably the best one, honestly.
No, because Kimmy ruined the franchise, and you're wrong about your stupid Rugrats video.
I didn't understand. I didn't realize there was so much Kimmy hate. Literally, for me, the show isn't worth watching until Kimmy and Dill are there. For a lot of it. I'm just like, anything with... But I think that's also
As a kid, I was always like... I always remember just, like, when Rugrats was coming on, I remember crossing my fingers and hoping that it's a later episode with the newer title sequence.
Yeah,
If it was the old episodes, I wasn't as interested.
Well, even on the VHS thing,
I don't know.
you put the VHS in, and it was like, let me see the intro, and you see the diaper flying in the air. You're like, damn, it's the old episode.
Well, I remember going two diapers.
Okay, let me set. I'll need to set up Discord so that we can see the screen. Give me a second. So that's.
Hold on, real quick. I'm just gonna I'm gonna play a game of Mr. Potato Head real quick.
No. Get some help. Yeah, you drink that water. You won't. We out here. So, I need to share a screen with you, don't I?
All right, I'm looking at
and
cat
everything's working.
cat dog.
Cat dog.
Cat
So,
dog. See, I have had the desire to sit like I just want to mention I really want to collect Nicktoons VHS tapes.
Mhm.
It's just something that's always, like I said, you don't just come across them in Goodwill anymore. And
No.
I mentioned the other night to you, Goodwill, like a lot of the thrift shops in America around here anyways, have stopped carrying VHS tapes altogether. And when they did carry them, Blues Big Musical, it's on my shelf.
yeah.
Finding they were just few and far between, and so looking at some of these, it's like I would really like to have like that Super Tunes tape right
Yeah,
there.
it's very popular. There's heaps of this one.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Well, for me,
I'm gonna have to collect, because I didn't even realize the SpongeBob movie released on VHS.
no, me neither. Well, for me, I think it would be a thing of I would want to collect. So, like, if we have a look here, I would want stuff like the Hey Arnold movie or something like that, or even the Wild Thornberrys movie, stuff that I've like seen a bunch of. I don't care about collecting Broccos. I don't care about like Cat Dog. I want stuff that
Right.
I grew up watching, like specific episodes
like,
or equivalent to
I would
DVDs.
specifically want like the SpongeBob tapes and stuff like that.
We should have a look and
maybe
see
some
how
things
expensive those are. That'd be interesting.
They're up there.
Because there's heaps
The stuff of
these
the
ones. This is one I had as a kid. This is one I would love to have. This old
that art of Tommy there freaks the crap out of me.
There's Monsters 20. Because I don't consider this $22. $20. I don't consider that like an investment of this has increased in value. I do not
This
see
is
them.
what I mean.
I don't see them going beyond this.
Right. Well, I would say that's high, and I think that is the inflated market of Nickelodeon VHS tapes on eBay.
Like, this is reasonable. This 74. No one is buying that. No one's
What
going
is
to
that?
buy
I can't
that.
even tell.
There's 18 people watching, waiting for it to go down in price.
Compilation.
There are 18 people who have been like, nah, it's too expensive, and they're just waiting.
Assuming that's actually, because I've also noticed some people will like. I think they bought their watchers to make people think it's more in demand than it is.
You can do that. I didn't know you could do that on eBay.
I definitely.
Look-
some people have
Look
definitely
at
done
it.
it.
This is the disparity. $5 hasn't sold. $74 hasn't sold. And this is Tales from the Crib.
I would be much more willing to buy the $5 because the thing about this is, you see that Rugrats Vacation tape.
You can
That's
see that
in there.
I've clicked on it too. I was going to buy it.
Um,
$20
it-
delivery.
yeah, that's all the delivery, man. eBay is such a broken. This is just an example to me of the false economy of collecting VHS tapes, because it's like I could walk into a shop and find one of these tapes. It might be harder nowadays, but I could find one of these exact tapes, like that one that's $75, and it would be 99 cents here.
Yeah, or you just like go to church, find some old lady, and be like, "Hey, do you own any VHS tapes?" And she'd be like, "Absolutely, I have boxes of them."
Yeah.
It's like, can I
Yard
come
sales.
see some of them? Look at this.
Yeah,
Hey
well,
Arnold,
our garage
where?
is full of VHS tapes.
Why isn't it the right color? I don't want it now. If it's black.
Yeah, I don't know. Paramount, man.
Paramount. Cheapskates, a lot of them. Oh, they did Nicktoons collections too. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing before. Was there was a Nicktoons collection earlier? Like, so a lot of these are collections, and those interest me almost more than even just the SpongeBob tapes.
Well, I had
Because I
both
feel
of
like
those
there'd be
things.
some interesting stuff on them.
Well, that's one thing I've also always wanted to talk about. Maybe we'll do this as another poll thing. I would love, because I have a heap of them still, to talk about like DVD splash screens. You know, like the menu pick screens. It'd be
Yeah,
so
I
fun to
saw
talk about the
a-
Rugrats ones, like the Nickelodeon ones.
I saw a tweet about those recently on Twitter, talking about the DVD menus, and they specifically showed one that I vividly remember and have PTSD over, was Cars, because it's just playing one of the opening songs of Cars over and over and over in a loop, and if you fell asleep, that's what it would be playing when you woke up.
When you woke
and
up.
It just it Lightning McQueen is my sleep paralysis demon. That is the conclusion that I've come to here.
Well, but also like they had all the behind the scenes stuff and like bonus episodes, and you could watch ads as well. Like you could watch trailers for different games and stuff. Like that's something I miss so much. You pay like a subscription for Paramount Plus or whatever, and you don't get any of the behind the scenes stuff or any of the extras.
I don't know if they do all specifically on Paramount Plus, but some services like offer that as like you have to kind of like look. Some of the streaming services have behind the scenes stuff, but you have to like go out of your way to find it, I think. VHS tapes had stuff like that too, though, that they would play at like the end of the tape. They'd be like, stick around after the show for this bonus feature thing, blah, blah, blah.
You can definitely tell the ones that were like really pushed out. There are so many of the Christmas ones.
Yeah.
They sold so many of those. There's like 2 Christmas ones to every other type of Christmas one.
And see, that one's $40. There's no way anyone's paying
$7. The actual value, $35. The perceived increase because this is an investment, guys. Value. But yeah, then there was this one. That was very upset.
Anyways,
anyway,
how do
should we have a little look at someone else's collection?
Ooh.
Oh, bro.
Ooh. Whoa.
Rare.
That is a lot of Rugrats. Tapes.
That is a lot of Rugrats. Okay. Oh, it's Angelica as a devil. Okay, that's all right.
This is triggering a happy part of my brain. I want to have all these on my shelf right now.
And the boxes, I would be a bit... Dude, hold on 1 second. Can I bring this back for a second?
Mania.
There are so many of the Santa experiences, and you've got the shittiest box for that one. Come on. It's worth like... There's like a $3 one on eBay at all times. Buy a new one. Fix this one. My God.
That's my problem. I have a Goosebumps books collection, and some of them look like that. Like the covers too.
Wait, hold the fucking phone. They're tricking us. He's got 2 of the Santa experience ones, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they're next to each other.
But they're like, it looks like they're a different print run or something.
Yeah. So I had Chucky the Brave. I had this one of Angelica. I had this one. He's actually got quite a few double ups. I had Return of Rector.
I think, like I said, I think it's a different print run. I think they probably didn't. I'm assuming these are all the.
Oh my goodness, there's so many of the Santa ones.
I don't know if these are all the tapes, but I'm assuming this is most of the Rugrats tapes that were actually made.
Yeah.
Oh, and all those SpongeBob tapes.
Oh my God, there's all grown up. He's got both Decade in Diapers ones. Sorry, let me just pull this over a little bit. He's got both Decade in Diaper ones.
Over here, you guys.
And both these and the Easter ones.
Snow White was a later.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Sorry, I'm gushing a little bit on this. Lucky 13. Fuck, dude. And then all the SpongeBob ones. Halloween, I had that.
Sponge Buddies, Nautical Nonsense, Sea Stories. I remember getting DVDs of some of these. I remember having to pick between DVD or VHS tape at one point.
I had the DVDs of this type of stuff too. That was the main thing that I had. Okay, let's have a little look at the bottom shelf now. Oh, Jimmy,
taking me back,
dude. I didn't know there were Jimmy Neutron ones. I thought Jimmy Neutron was past it. I thought that was just the movie, and then
Attack of the Twonkies,
Time Warp, Jet Fusion.
I want the Twonkies one because I've never watched that.
Dude, we have to do like a Twonkies. Maybe we do that for season 2, like the season 2 return. We do a Twonkies episode of this where we review it, and then we also do a video on the Twonkies game. The Twonkies game is mad.
Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Hey Arnold!
I wonder,
stinks.
I never like really enjoy. Ooh, Rugrats Easter. That tape right there looks cool. Any clamshell, you know it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
An extravaganza tape. I wonder what those are. Like, what's on those?
Yeah, 1 and 2. It's crazy, man. It's just and is that Danny? No, it's Nightmare Tales. Sorry, I thought it was Danny Phantom for a second. The purple one.
I feel like now I'm like curious. Was there a Danny Phantom VHS tape? Hold on.
There you go. So let's
look this up.
That collection is by Let me just check. No, leave. A collection was by Pajama Sam Saves the Zoo.
Pajama Sam. Apparently, Mr. Jeptha was gonna do a Pajama Sam video for Halloween, but he's changed his plans. Was there anything?
The comment is, "This is incredible, and I'm jealous." And Pajama Sam says, "Thanks. I've been collecting since 2017."
Wow, that's right around when I started collecting Goosebumps books.
This is actually like the most wholesome reactions I think I've ever seen on Reddit. Let's be friends. That's amazing. I have never seen this much positivity on fucking Reddit before. Here's we get into some of that kind of more perceived value, because are real monsters reasonably, like there's some more expensive ones but cheap ones. Ren Stimpy, some cheaper ones as well. Why is Hey Arnold consistently expensive, especially Hey Arnold's Christmas?
Let's ask Google's AI, shall we?
I'm really confused.
Why are Hey Arnold VHS tapes so expensive? No, I can't find any information. Even on Reddit, it's talking about something else. So
I'd have to assume there's less of them, but even then, now it's Christmas. Like, there's a lot of them here. They're $100, $75, $150.
Maybe one person. Well, maybe it's all
$200 for just a random one as well. Urban Adventures.
I'm scrolling through. Yeah, some of these are out. One of these is sealed, which is why they think it's worth more than it is. In fact, a lot of these more expensive ones look like they are sealed, and so people think that they're the Holy Grail or whatever. And then the people who don't have the sealed ones just see the price of the sealed ones and are like,
promo copy.
Oh, it must be worth that.
What makes it a promo copy?
I guess it got sent out to like retailers or something, maybe, or maybe it was given out at an event.
Yeah, but then you get down here and you get to the actual prices of these things: $5, $6. Oh man, there's a lot of the movie. I should snag one of the movies.
One thing I was going to say at the beginning of this is I feel like your experience with VHS tapes is different than mine in the sense that, like, apparently you just didn't, like, Australia didn't really have Nickelodeon as a network. You were watching all these things on VHS tapes and DVDs.
Yeah, so I grew up watching them mostly on VHSs because Australia... It's I don't have much context for it, but I feel like Australia was, until probably about 2015, was fairly behind in a lot of things. Like, we didn't get great national internet until like 2015 or so. So before that, like, that is an indicator of how long it took us to really catch up. And because we're such a small market, we didn't get a lot of things. So we were on VHS tapes for like a lot longer. We didn't get HD TV till like the mid 2010s. That wasn't just a thing. So I grew up going to Vinnie's, which is kind of our equivalent of like a Goodwill type of thing. And probably you guys have Salvation Army, don't you?
We do. It's not, at least where I live, it's not really, I don't know. I remember them out in Utah. I don't know if the Midwest out here has them. I assume they do it somewhere. I know what it is. Yeah. I've been to one before.
So our Vinnie's and Salvation Army are kind of the same thing, where it's people donate stuff and then they sell it for a profit for charity. So I would go there and I could always, every single time, no matter what, I could find a Rugrats VHS tape or a SpongeBob VHS tape or something like that for 50 cents. And so it was always cheap enough that Mum would just let me get whatever the hell I wanted. So I would always be coming back with a VHS tape. And it was always super exciting, but it would also always be quite a little bit disappointing because they would often have the cover episode would be different, but they would have the same one of the same episodes on there. So I was like,
I've noticed that with like, I've collected a lot of Scooby-Doo VHS tapes because those are easier to find. And a lot of the compilations, I really like Scooby-Doo Where Are You, like the older stuff. But a lot of times with the compilation ones, it's like the same content with a slightly different box, and
Yeah.
maybe one episode is different.
So there was that, and then the DVDs. So for us, I was watching. We had a VHS player that had a DVD player thing below it, so I would be jumping between the two very actively. So there was no evolution from one to the other. They were basically at the same time. And I more or less stopped watching DVDs the same time that I stopped watching VHSs because the internet got better, and me and Aubrey were watching anime on illegal streaming sites, and that was that kind of thing.
I just noticed that one down at the bottom, Hey Arnold Le Film.
Le Film.
Hey Arnold Le Film.
Let's have a look at that. Oh my god, it's Le Film. Le Spaghetti.
Arnold
Dear.
always looks like he's stoned.
And I found this, which was Nickelodeon Home Media, like the little intro segments as well. There was like different
I
for each of
remember
them.
those three little men singing. I remember that.
I never had that. I had from this one onwards, which was like the different balls, the different like figurines. These were on the DVDs though. These were just DVDs. I never watched any VHSs
Right.
that had these on them, I think.
I also remember that fish.
Yeah. All the Jimmy Neutron ones had the fish. No, maybe one had the rocket, but they all had the fish. I have not seen the crown or the sausage. What the fuck the other one
I
is?
feel like I've seen the sausage, which I think is actually supposed to be like a balloon.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I vividly remember that one. Oh, it says slug on the thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
got a slug.
I've never seen the crown. That's a weird one. Or that
No.
eyeball looking thing, whatever that is.
It's his eye
wonder what
on a
those
back
were on.
background. Nick inside the pupil. One of them comes to the screen and begins blinking. Many of these animations were originally produced for Nickelodeon in 1993 on-air branding. A few additional logos were created over the next few years.
I bet that's why I've seen them. Is I probably saw them on the network itself as bumpers. That's probably where I recognize a lot of these from.
The fish logo is favorable among Nickelodeon fans, especially SpongeBob fans. Viewers may recognize the slime cloud logo from it being used as an end cap over an appearance on Rugrats video trailers after the original version of the series intro ends, and on the VHS releases of the Rugrats movie. Okay, so we got availability here. Awesome. Fish, with the exception of a few releases, this is most common. It was seen on virtually every Nickelodeon DVD release from the time until 2004. It was followed by Paramount DVD logo. This is seen on the majority of SpongeBob SquarePants releases from this era. Cool. What about the rocket? Oh, only appears on the SpongeBob SquarePants Halloween and Nicktoons Christmas
That's the robot.
DVDs. Oh, robot, sorry. And then Top, which I feel like I remember, only seen on 4 Rugrats DVDs: Mysteries, Saves the Day, Halloween, and Turkey and Mistletoe. Interesting. Rocket. We found VHS of the Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy. VHS. Okay, so
Probably on this one that I have back here,
Yeah.
unless it's talking about the show specifically.
and the VHS and DVD releases Jimmy Choo Power Hour. There was a
I didn't
VHS
think
release
about
of Power Hour.
There might be a VHS release of all the Power Hours.
I thought it would have
Now
been
I'm-
too late. That was like 2006, dude.
Well, I have a copy of The Incredibles on VHS, and that was 2006, I believe. Let's see. Jimmy
Crown.
T.
So the crown can be found in the VHS version of SpongeBob SquarePants Lost in Time. The DVD version has the regular fish logo. Also, SpongeBob SquarePants Lost in Time is the last SpongeBob SquarePants VHS released. On Parents, some All Grown Up VHS releases. Oh, Jimmy Timmy Power 2 and 3. Oh, that's the DVD. Oh, and the VHS releases of the former. Yeah,
I was gonna
so
say,
they released on former.
there is definitely one of the two. I'm looking at it. I can't find if there was a printing of the 3 or not.
Dude, I need to have a look if I can get all
That would be
Grown
something
Up
that really bothers me, is if they
VHS.
never
completed the set.
There's a problem. Yeah, because that's the problem with like Star Wars, is you can collect all 5 of the first movies, and then Revenge of the Sith was not released on VHS in America specifically. Like it was released on VHS elsewhere, so it's like you can't complete the collection.
Dude, oh my god. the best Nickelodeon special
I was about to say
on
that
VHS.
I need that actually.
Oh, it's $55.
They know what they have.
They know the value they have in their hands. There's
It says-
heaps of them. There's heaps
Back
of
on
them.
the one thing, it said the slug wasn't in America, so I swear I remember the slug, but apparently not. All
Yeah.
growed up, really. One thing I thought was funny was when we called it all grown up, people were like, "Oh, it was called all grown up here in America. I didn't know it was called all growed up elsewhere."
This is what I mean. Go be stupid somewhere else. I don't need you here. Piss off.
All Grown Up was the show. All Growed Up was the special on Rugrats.
See, you were
Idiots.
making fun of me at the start of this show for being so salty. I feel like you're starting to understand now. Just be stupid somewhere
when
else.
we started.
Yeah, you were
No,
pulling up old
I wasn't
comments.
Really, I was just laughing at them. I didn't necessarily disagree, but now I really have, like, as I've seen more stupid like, some people are just mean right at the gate, and I just want to return that energy so badly. But I've refrained from commenting as Bikini Bottom Inquirer because I don't want to ostracize people. I don't know.
I can deal with people being like rude or angry or anything like that because just like my mind immediately goes into we're talking about cartoons, my gamer, and you clicked on this video. But
Stuff that
if
really
people are
bothers me
people are
is, like-
stupid, I can't do it. I can't handle it.
One thing that really bothers me was there was one guy, and I've noticed this before on other things as well, is people are like, the actual video starts at like insert timestamp here or whatever, or like you too much yapping, I tuned out or whatever. Like, then don't watch.
But that's the thing is, my gamer, you did watch. That's why I always find it funny. It's just like, wait, so if you watched all the way through, I think that means that you have you've watched more video than like statistically most people did. That's impressive. I'm glad. Thank you.
The people who are like, the actual video starts here or whatever, like, tell me you have a horrible attention span without telling me you have a horrible attention span. Because I don't even feel like you did that much like intro. I always do a little bit of intro because I always feel like things need context. And some people just are like, nope, can't do it. I tune out. Can't.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because like in the first video that we did, the first investigation, I did no intro, and that's my kind of goal in generally is I hate the videos, like the videos I click on, and let's say I'm watching a video on SpongeBob, and it starts, and they're like, SpongeBob was created by Steven Hillenburg back in 1999. I was like, bro, I am watching a SpongeBob YouTube video. I am the 1%. I know who Steven Hillenburg was. I know everything about his history. I don't need to know this. So I try to go with a similar thing of just like, if this would bother me, I'm not going to do it. But the point of the start of the Rugrats 1 was just very early. I'm setting the tone of you are in my court. If you're coming and watching my shit, you are sitting at my feet and you are watching it. That is the tone that I'm attaching to all of this. Is like you are in my space. You're in. It was just the thing. I was like, I'm just gonna attach this straight out the gate, doing it early.
6'5" tall Australian man.
I'm not doing this for your. I'm not doing this for your entertainment. I'm doing this because I want to watch these types of videos, and you get the benefit of being able to watch it.
I mean, that's how I kind of always go into it, honestly. But like with the video that I'm making right now, it's like technically there, like I just know someone's gonna make the comment because it's like there's a solid like 3 minutes before I actually get into the meat of what I'm talking about. But it's because I'm establishing context, what I'm talking about. I'm also making jokes, but it's like not everyone's gonna. I understand that a lot of people who are gonna be watching the content, they already know about it, but especially if like the algorithm is suggesting something, a lot of people aren't going to know what I'm talking about. So I feel like I have to have a little bit of context in there.
Yeah.
But some people are like, too much yapping.
I think it's just the whole thing of the mindset that I go into it a lot more now is just like, we're not friends. I'm not making this like what who do you think I'm making this for?
Parasocial.
We are not parasocial. I am not making this for you. You get to come along. Like fuck off of that shit. I've been doing this too long to get fucked now.
Right. In the past I feel like we've run into like the perils of parasocialness because like for a long time people kind of associated all the rehydrated relief people as like we were a crew. Behind the scenes, like
the rehydrated crew, they're all doing stuff to get like we were constantly
talking to each other. We were all best buds or whatever, and that and that was not the case. And then that one guy did what he did. So,
well, I think a big thing of it is that like, so from my experience, so I'm coming from. I've got to choose my words. Carefully here. We're running so the podcast that I ran. You know, we had patrons. We have patrons that support it. Not this one, but like a different one. And so then I was bringing on more. You know, we're bringing on more cast members and all that, and kind of integrating with them, and we're having growing Patreon and all that. And I very quickly had to come to terms with the fact that not everyone understands how to have an appropriate relationship with a fan base. Because I
noticed that specifically on Patreon as well. Because I subscribe to one or two people on Patreon, and just seeing some of the interactions in like, because they have like a group chat on there, and seeing some of the interactions that people have with the creator, make me uncomfortable just looking at it.
So there's stuff like on the Discord for this specific thing. Like I've got people on there who I would consider friends, and we're friendly and all that. But you know, I'm involved on the podcast with two other guys. If any of us are going to message people from the Discord privately, so there's one person on there like who I help with some writing stuff, I let the other two know. Just like, hey, I'm doing this with this person, and like. If I get any messages from people off the like that Discord that are a bit concerning or anything like that, I take a screenshot and I send it to those guys immediately. I'm like, hey, how are we feeling about this? Do we want to tackle this in like a specific way? Anything like that. And that's the way that those two have always behaved about. Because I'm just saying, you know, I've come up on YouTube where 90% of the YouTubers I grew up watching are no longer making videos because they were inappropriate with fans.
Very careful.
It's
you
just
have to be very careful. So yeah, I mean,
just
that
for
makes
everyone's
sense,
sake. But it's just
especially
like
just to be transparent, so that you can have like BJ will be like, yeah, he did not.
Yeah,
like if you were accused of something or whatever.
And like this is also coming from someone who, for a big portion of my life, I was running youth groups, and so I had to do working with children's checks. And it was stuff like being aware of just like when I'm here, I don't go to the bathroom. I don't go into an enclosed space where it's just me, where one of the kids could like walk in and I'm alone with them for any period of time because I'm protecting myself. I know I'm fine, but I don't want some kid to get like pissy at their parents because they're sending them to youth group and make up some lie about me.
Touched me.
It's literally like a thing you have to be like aware of. So like I go into everything with that mindset, but other people didn't go into it with that mindset, and so I had to have a lot of conversation. And I'm like, why are you in a private Discord with these patrons? How is that appropriate? If you're going to keep doing that, you're off the show. Like there was a lot of those conversations, and there are people who I no longer work with because of that. And it's just like, I thought we all grew up watching this and understanding that like, this is not something that we do.
I thought we were all grown up.
I thought we were all grown up. I thought we were based. Turns out we're fucking cringe.
Dexter in the lab, learn from that shit. Concern for the rats in the brain up in this. Trying to take over the world. Wasn't the world for a kid? No concept, yet of a conflict. Trend of a conscience. Banging on your office is no problems. Cause it was honest and it was awesome. No mortgage bills.